I wanted to focus on what was going on in California. I absolutely, positively was dedicated to what was going on in San Francisco, LA, Bay Area, Calabasas, all of Glendale. I heard they was running into one of my favorite cities, Glendale. I had a Patreon meetup over in Glendale. They over there robbing people over in Glendale. And I wanted to focus completely on what was going on the West Coast because I said that the West Coast hasn't had the spotlight on them the way that they should have. San Francisco, San Diego, all of those different places, right? And just like that, Chicago pulled me right back in. Chicago pulled me right back in. Shout out to Chicago. You just cannot stay out of the news. Listen, for the sake of not being on the Millionaire Morning Show as the highlight of how it is that we should not be operating, please, all of my Chicagoans, refrain from doing violence, refrain from robbing people, refrain from killing, refrain from all of the local violence. What is going on? What is happening in our cities? Have we just completely, and 100% have forgotten our way and lost our way? Is it because we don't go to church anymore? Is it because of single mothers? Is it because of fathers leaving the household? What is it? I'm open to taking whatever suggestion that you guys have so that we can solve for this crisis that is happening across the board. What is going on, yo? There used to be decorum. Listen, it used to be that everywhere else was full game, but you don't mess with women and children, right? It used to be rules of engagement. You don't mess with women and children. You don't mess with the old lady. You don't mess with the preacher man. You kind of let the dude that's on crack, you let him live. Even the dude that was, honestly, when I was coming up, it was a different time in which, shout out to Krishan Humphrey, I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. It was a different time in which, you know, that old man, he's senile, he running around, he bothering people, he asking for change. We know that he on crack, cocaine, or whatever like that, but we had a level of sympathy for him, right? And so we didn't walk up and knock him out. We didn't go out and check him and take his shoes and bother him even more. We knew that he had a vice. We knew that he had an issue. Yo, let that man live. He ain't got much time. His life was hard, whatever, so on and so forth. Let him have his dreams. He gonna walk up and say how good he was in basketball and that he played with Earl to Pearl Monroe and he was finger rolling, but he just never made it into the league. Let that, well, you know, you used to let the dude live. You never stole from the church, the preacher man. You let the preacher man do whatever it is that he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, the preacher man was the preacher man. The church was the one place that you can go to. What is going on? Give me a second. What's going on? What you doing?
Watching the Millionaire Morning Show.
So what made you text me, can I have $4,000 then?
Because I asked you yesterday and you never got back to me, so I just wanted it to be like in the forefront of your mind when you looked at your phone again.
Honey, I was holding Chicago accountable and you asked me for $4,000.
Okay. I just wanted it to be in the forefront of your mind. When you look at your phone, when you get done with the live stream, maybe think about it, consider it, you know.
What is $4,000 for? You know what? Don't even worry about it.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, you can have $4,000, Rita.
Really?
Yes, you can have $4,000. Why are you acting surprised?
Yes. Well, actually, so I need $4,000 now, and then once the job is completed, I'm gonna need another probably $4,000.
So you need 8, man. So why you ask for 4 when you need 8?
Because I'm trying to work my way up. I was gonna, do a little something tonight, maybe get the other 4,000.
You can have the 4,000. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye. Anyways, Chicago. Let's go ahead and get into it because I don't know what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? But y'all ready to be married? Do y'all want to be married or no? Do y'all want to be married or no? That's all I'm saying. Do y'all want to be married? I know Exodia to God. I know it's so crazy. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. I take all of my calls that happen during the show live for y'all. It just is what it is. Let's get it rocking, y'all.
City officials calling for a crackdown on crime as an armed robbery spree continues across Chicago.
WGN's Dana Repic is live in North Lawndale with the latest here. Dana?
Well, police believe there are multiple robbery crews targeting victims on the west side. One of those crews was caught last night, but after those arrests were made, another group was at it, hitting victims in 10 separate locations in a matter of 2 hours.
Hold on. So check this out, y'all. Let's not ignore what it is that they said, but let's also use our context clues to have this conversation. Now, we have a news crew out here. We got a news crew out here, and check it out. If you look behind you, this is in Chicago, right? This is in Chicago. If you look behind you, you can see a tent. Homelessness is rampant. Dudes is out here robbing. There's literally a tent. Homelessness is crazy even in Chicago. Y'all know it's about to get cold out here, right? Y'all know it's about to get cold out here, right? See, I don't pay attention to just what it is that they saying. I'll also look at what the hell is happening in these hellholes of cities that we living in. This is crazy. When I was younger, I never used to see tents just sitting on the sidewalk in the middle of the street. When you walk down D.C., if you go down Skid Row, if you walk down any of these streets in San Francisco, it's literally tents everywhere. This is literally becoming a third world country. But check out what she said. Hold on, let's break it down.
In North Lawndale with the latest here. Dana?
Well, police believe there are multiple robbery crews targeting victims on the west side. One of those crews was caught last night, but after those arrests were made, another group was at it, hitting victims in 10 separate locations in a matter of 2 hours.
What the hell is happening? Is Hydra over in Chicago? Is Hydra working over in Chicago? You cut one off, two more grow in its place. So they got one crew, and then the other crew was like, yes, police finally got them boys so we can hit all 10 locations of all of the different places that we was going to. They over in Chicago like Hell Hydra. Shout out to all of my Marvel fans, back when Marvel was actually good. They get one crew, and then they just lower it up so that the other three crews can go and hit the 10 different spots all on the same day. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane.
Sí, me robaron a mí, me quitaron $2,000.
A mechanic at Illinois Auto Repair on North St. Louis and Logan Square says it happened in seconds. A dark-colored sedan pulled up just before 7:30 Saturday night, and 4 armed men with hoods up wearing masks jump out, taking his wallet at gunpoint that had $2,000 cash a customer had just paid him inside.
No, nunca pensé que me fuera a tocar a mí.
He says he never thought it would happen to him, but this man is just one of more than a dozen people.
What? Say it ain't people that look just like me. Maybe it's systematic racism that's driving these young men to go out there and rob these business owners and not care about their business, the customers, so on and so forth. Maybe it's systematic oppression and the fact that they haven't gotten their reparations yet that's driving all of these young bulls to be out here robbing, stealing, and killing in the broad daylight. Don't care nothing about no cameras. Don't care nothing about no cops. Don't care nothing about no guns. Don't care nothing about anything. They are really willing to crash out for 2 bands, 3 bands being split up between 4 and 5 different people. Family, you do know that y'all not even getting $600 a piece for 2 bands. You're not even getting $600-$700 a piece. You might as well go to work. You willing to put your whole life on the line? We got dudes out here putting their whole life on the line for $2,000 being split up between 5 people. You ready to crash out over $500-$600? $700? Split up between all of y'all? Where they do that at? What kind of crime syndicates is this? Huh? You listen, y'all not even doing the banks anymore. Y'all going straight to the business owners and the old ladies and y'all knocking them over the head for $500? $500. Sheesh. Yannick, I appreciate you. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly.
People robbed in a 2-day time span on the west side.
It sounds like that's been happening a lot lately. It's definitely scary.
Victims described between 2 to 5 armed offenders. In several of the incidents, they were seen fleeing in a white sedan, one victim describing it as a Kia. Just overnight, a crew committed 10 armed robberies, the first just before 3:30 this morning in the 4400 block of West 5th. The offenders hit victims on West Grand, South Campbell, Southwestern, West Cermak, South Allport, West Lake, North Ashland, and West Grenshaw.
Y'all ready to walk away from Chicago, all of my good people all together? Overnight, same crew hit 10 different robberies all at the same time. Just driving around the city, just knocking people off. Driving around the city, knocking people off. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the entire country for citizens. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws for citizens, meaning that we're also preventing people from even being able to defend themselves when we see these dudes and these young bulls out here running around. They're going to go back and they're going to sleep in their mama's crib. Their mama going to say, oh, not Jody. Oh, my baby. It's systematic oppression, racism. They was out here knocking people over, taking heads, got switches on their guns. They living in the drug culture and all of this other type of stuff. And so when they get arrested or when the police start to rough them up a little bit, we going to sue the police too, and we going to get a payout as a result of it. This is the environment and the place that we live in. Look, if y'all from a foreign country, if y'all are watching this, I know I got a lot of people that watch my show all across the board. We already got 1,700 people in here and counting, right? If y'all are watching this outside of the country, if you are from here and you moved out of the country, or if you outside of the country, shout out to my Nigerians, people in the UK, even up in Canada. Shout out to my people in Tokyo. Shout out to my people in Thailand. If you over in the Dominican Republic and you watching this, let me tell you something. It's not better over here than it is over there. Your ability to be able to make money, maybe, but you can also get a job from where you at because we're in a global economy. If you want to come over and you want to visit Los Angeles, if you want to visit Chicago, if you want to go down south and you want to go and visit Overtown and you want to go over to Houston, Texas and get you listen. Remember when different cities used to be known for things that was significant for that particular region? Los Angeles was known for the car culture. They had the low riders because they ain't had no salt on their cars and it was sunny year round. And so, if you ever wanted to go to a car show and all of that other type of stuff and you wanted to get you some good tacos because they food and the food culture over there was completely different than what it was on the East Coast, it was dope. You can go over there. You can go and see Hollywood. You can walk down the Walk of Fame. Now, if you walk down the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, it smell like piss. And I keep seeing Michael Jackson, the old version of him, and not Michael Jackson, the new version. So all of the Michael Jacksons got afros on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I kid you not. I was walking down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and Michael Jackson, every Michael Jackson, young, old, I seen one that was dressed like Mike, and he was almost in a wheelchair, and he was out there doing his little, he was doing his stuff, and all of their hair was nappy. I said, what version of Michael are you? So we don't get Thriller Michael. We don't get Bad Michael. We don't get Dangerous. We don't get none of that Michael. The Michael that we get is the one that was hanging around Tito and LaToya. All of the Michaels is dusty out here. All of their hands was ashy. Not a piece of lotion in sight. Vaseline, lotion, Crisco. Put something on them hands, big dog. Everybody was Michael, and nobody was Michael at the same time. When you went over into Philly, right, they had competing cheesesteaks. You go across one street, you go across the other one. It was the Philly cheesesteaks. You go and get you a baseball game. Maybe go and check out the 76ers. Dr. J was finger rolling, right? And we had legends out there. Now we got Kensington Street. And Philadelphia is known for Kensington Ave, where you can go and get you a combination of fentanyl and horse tranquilizer all in the same time. You can't even get good drugs in Philly no more. You can't get good drugs in Philly. Yo, I never thought that we'd see today that you can't even get drugs that's not spiked with fentanyl, and so you be over there foaming at the mouth, and somebody got to call the police and get some Narcan in order to wake you up. That's crazy, fam. It's crazy. Insane. You used to be able to go up to Chicago and go to the Miracle Mile. Go see the Bean. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan. Scotty, Michael, B.J. Armstrong, John Paxson, Steve Kerr, Horace Grant went over there and kicked Michael Jordan's ass. They try to leave that out of the documentary. But Horace Grant went over into the Orlando Magic when Michael came back, and they try to say that wasn't a loss because he came back and he won 6 championships. Listen, we're not going to ignore the fact that Mike got his ass kicked by Horace Grant, but either here or there, you used to be going over to Chicago, do some shopping. You know what I'm saying? I bought my first Rolex out in Chicago. The Submariner. I documented it back in like 2017 or some crap like that, right? You used to be able to go over to Chicago and have a good time. Now you got to go over to Chicago and worry about the switches. We know, think about it. I just named 3 different places. 3 different places. LA, homelessness, and pissy Hall of Fame Star Walk. You can go and piss on Kevin Hart's star right now without any kind of repercussions right on Hollywood Boulevard, right? Philly, cheesesteaks. Nope. Kensington Ave, where you can go and get you a combination of fentanyl and horse tranquilizer right now. Chicago, the Bean. Nope. It's not the Miracle Mile anymore. It's O-Block. Chicago is better known for O-Block today than they are for the Miracle Mile. And this is the culture that we live in. This is a fact. This is a fact. Shout out to the 1,900 people and counting that's in here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. This is the best morning show on the face of the earth.
In some cases, the victims were assaulted as well.
It is a real shame that it's happening.
Moby, get out of Chicago.
I do wish that there would be less of this, naturally.
Chicago police did arrest 3 people around 9:30 last night after an armed robbery led to a crash in Bucktown. The suspects were in a white SUV and had just robbed a 51-year-old woman in the 2000 block of Mozart.
Y'all robbing women, 50-year-old women out here. 50-year-old women ain't even safe on ours. We don't even respect our own women. We can't even have a woman walk down the street, getting home from work. She coming home from the diner. Her feet is tired. She already ain't got nothing. Her rent is due. She behind on that junk. She trying to get laid off so she can get some unemployment. Her PPP loan didn't even go through, so she can't even get 3 hots and a cot from getting arrested from the PPP loans. She probably was on her way in the morning to go to the check cashing place so she can pay 75% interest on a $600 loan. And she can't even get home from the diner so that she can actually go to sleep because her feet is hurting because she got some young bulls that's out here knocking her over the head and then crashing her car out and she ain't even got no car insurance to get it fixed. Shout out to Chicago.
Before crashing. That vehicle is possibly connected to multiple robberies over the weekend, including the one at the auto repair shop.
There was a lot of frustration because I know that the mayor is talking about, investing in the community, looking at the root cause of violence, which my community supports. I think most Chicagoans support. But in the interim, what are we doing to address the issues now?
36th Ward Alderman Gilbert Villegas recently held a public safety meeting with the 12th Police District Commander. He reports residents have started a petition for the city to reopen the shuttered 13th District that closed in 2012 due to consolidation.
Wait. Mayor Johnson was one of the biggest proponents for defund the police. Wait. Mayor Johnson, who replaced Lori Lightfoot, was one of the biggest proponents for defund the police. Am I not mistaken? I don't want to give false information. I just want to make sure, because this was just 6 months ago. All right, you know what? Don't worry about it. Because the beautiful thing about this is that because we operate in real time, we're going to go to what the people asked for. Because listen, I don't want to hear y'all complaining. I'm going to go to what the people asked for. I'm going to talk about what the people asked for. And then we're going to get into what Mayor Johnson decided to give him as a result of it. Because I can't put it all at his fault. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Chris James. I'm definitely going to be reading those super chats shortly. Let's check out what the people said.
Tonight, hundreds of protesters taking the streets once again, calling for the defunding of Chicago police, marching right near one of the Chicago police training facilities. Tonight, a renewed call to defund the Chicago Police Department. Hundreds of demonstrators calling for the millions of dollars the city pours into police to go back into the neighborhoods.
This isn't something that's just cute or something that we come out to just make a statement. This is our life.
Some of the activists, now familiar faces.
Look at all of those women out there. Look at all of those women out there in solidarity with their signs up advocating for the defunding of the police. Look at this solidarity over in Chicago, and they're trying to defund the police. So this is what you asked for. You voted based off of who came and gave you the solution for what it is that you wanted. You got out there and you were advocates for this. See, the beautiful thing about the time that we live in is because we got the receipts now. You advocated for defunding the police. So, why are we complaining? Why are we sitting here complaining? Why are we sitting here complaining about your mama walking down the street and getting her head knocked in when this is the thing that you advocated before? Don't worry about it. We got more receipts. I'm just pulling this up as I go. Literally, I didn't even plan on going this far. Let's see what Mayor Johnson then came through and said.
Spending more on policing per capita anywhere else in the world has been a failure.
Well, he once sponsored a Cook County board resolution to reduce police funding. And
do we not have the receipts? Can we not go back and the very person that's sitting here talking about how the police need to do more with less because we're going to sponsor a cut in the police, and then he gave you what you wanted. He told you what he was going to do. You voted for him in office, and now you have to sit here and hold him accountable for what it is that he's doing as far as managing the city. That's why I'm not completely going to leave it on him. I think that he's a horrible mayor. I think that he's nothing more than a preacher that's walking around talking a lot with his spiked haircut, but he's not necessarily doing anything for the city. He's no different than Lori Lightfoot, but y'all voted her in there just because of her alphabet community ties. So what is it any different? If he's a reflection of the people that voted for him, why are you sitting here complaining about the state of your city and saying that we're going to sign a petition? No, the petition that you had was the person that came in and said that they were going to do what it is that you voted for. And so they're implementing the policies that you advocated for. So why are you now complaining about the state of your neighborhoods when you won't even do the thing that's in your own best interest? You know who the robbers are. You know who the killers are. You defunded the police. You stopped snitching. You started advocating for the people to get out of jail. They released all of the criminals. They gave them back to you. And now you mad because they knocking over everybody in your neighborhood, including your mama that's 51 years old that's trying to get home from work at night. What you whining about?
Today, candidate for mayor Brandon Johnson said he would cut the Chicago police budget by at least $150 million. He proposes to spend billions of dollars more on social services, including mental health and youth employment.
Our political.
And guess what? You know what they did? They brought in a bunch of migrants. They put in a bunch of funding to make sure that they house them. They defunded your police. And now they saying that the police should be supporting them more. They cut the budget. They cut how much they make. They put their lives on the line for y'all every single day. They acquiesced over to Black Lives Matter, which was ran by a bunch of self-identified Marxists and a bunch of women that then told y'all and led y'all into the slaughter. And now you a victim and caged, and you're a prisoner in your own home. And as a result of it, you're going to sit here and complain to us about it? It's my fault? You had a bunch of 20 and 21 years old and 19-year-olds and 18-year-old women out here telling you what it is that you should do with your police and how it is that you need to be managing your neighborhood, and you want to sit here and hold us accountable for it, and now they want to tax us even more in order to give federal dollars over to y'all so y'all can run in the Victim Olympics, and then you want to ask for reparations on top of it. Let me tell you what happens when you mix money with bad judgment. You create a cocktail bomb that just completely explodes and decimates everything around it, because money does not solve for the problem. If you do not allocate it properly, money just makes things worse. It makes it exponentially worse. It does not make you a better person. It makes you more of what you already are. So now we're having a conversation about defunding the police. Where did all of that go? How come we not having that conversation no more? How come nobody is talking about defunding the police anymore? I remember some of y'all that's in the chat right now. You argued with me. You went back and forth with me. You jumped on the panels. You decided to hold me accountable. You said that I was Uncle Tom, even though you didn't know that Uncle Tom was the hero, because you don't understand your history. And you said, Anton, you're wrong because we should be defunding the police. And you had conversations with me on a regular basis. I remember it. I will never forget it. And I'm going to throw it back in your face because I told you we was going to be back here. And this is the time for me to then bring it and throw it back in your face and hold you accountable for it, because I do not feel sorry for the very ones that advocated, voted, put the people in place that is then giving you what you want. And now you want to sit here and complain about it. You want Batman to come through and fix Gotham City. Nope. Nope. We will not save you from yourself. I repeat, we will not save you from yourself. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Shout out to Devastator. I appreciate you. So this is what we're going to do. Let's make some modifications, y'all. Let's make some modifications. This is what we're going to do. The news crew that started reporting on the different robberies that was happening was then robbed at gunpoint. Let's go into the story specifically. Chicago television news crew reporting on a string of robberies. Y'all worse than the mob. At least the mob had ways in which they would go about doing things. At least they had a code of conduct. Reporting on a string of robberies, ended up robbed themselves after they were accosted at gunpoint by 3 armed men wearing ski masks. Y'all got some balls out here. Spanish language station, Univision Chicago. They didn't even speak no English. They was on Univision. I don't speak no English. Said a reporter and a photographer were filming just before 5 a.m. Now, you know that the sun ain't up in Chicago. You're not even safe when the sun is up. Monday on Chicago's West Town neighborhood, when 3 masked men brandishing firearms robbed them, taking their television camera and other items. This is insane. They ain't even got no money, fam. You just took the television camera. They were approached with guns and robbed. Mainly it was personal items because they took a camera. News crew was filming a story about robberies in a war-torn community that was slated to run in the morning news, and he said the footage they shot was stolen with the camera and the story never made it on air. Chicago police identified the victims as a 21-year-old man and a 42-year-old man. Police said the pair was outside when the 3 men drove up in a gray sedan and a black SUV. After the armed robbers took a few items from the news crew, they fled in the vehicles. No injuries. No injuries was reported. Nobody is in custody. Ever. Nobody is ever in custody. Unreal. 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 So here's my question. Here's my question to the people out here. At what point are you going to be tired of being sick and tired? Because I know you're tired of being sick and tired, but at what point are you going to get tired of being sick and tired? At what point are you going to say, you know what, Anton? We was wrong. Let me get back under your covering. You right. I don't want to be a prisoner in my own home, in my own city, and I don't want to be afraid to even be able to go out to work so that I can earn money to give over to the federal government so that they can defund the police and they can reallocate the funds towards the people that don't care nothing about me. At what point do you then get off the plantation and say, you know what? I'm tired of being sick and tired. And does it have to happen to you personally before you realize that you are under duress?